50 random Hot Wheels trivia from wiki fandom. Before we start, I want to thank to all the people who made all 8,796 article from Hot Wheels wiki fandom. Without your guys' help I will never finish my Hot Wheel iceberg explain. So this video is a tribute for all your guys. The game came bundled with a special edition version of the first edition's 40-something, bearing THQ and Velocity X stand post, and RL5 SP tires. There is also a billboard advertising Monster Jam trucks, showing Gravedigger and Sting. There is a list of cheats in the PlayStation 2 version that are unlocked by completing certain tasks and some challenges, for example unlocking all cars, all gadgets, etc. The 2017 release was modeled after Mad Mike Whittett's Pitbull that is used for his daily drive. Real Mad Mike's 1974 Mazda Repute daily project, pictured right, slammed, 15x10 VCE rotiform rims, 205/50R15 Nitto tire and T01 rubber, Rowdy 13B Bridgeport, Ida Weber, full stainless straight 3.5 inches exhaust, 5 supered wrap and a whole lot of scream. Each of the real-life Twin Mills engines are 8.2 liters supercharged Chevrolet 502C, 8.2 liters, big block V8s that produce a total of 1,401 horsepower, 1,044 kilowatts, and 1,401 feet-pound, 1,900 Newton-meters, of torque. Larry Wood has created some of the most well-known and unique Hot Wheels cars, including the 49 Merc, the Boyd Coddington collector set and the Rambling Wrecker, which originally featured Wood's phone number on its sides. He has been with Mattel/Hot Wheels team since 1969. He's originally from General Motors. His initials have been featured on some 2009 cars, such as the 41 pickup and highway hauler. Each one bears the name Elwood. Elwood is identical to Elwood in pronunciation. Larry Wood has made a new car series, Larry's Garage. This series features many of his popular designs, such as Dairy Delivery, Metrorail Nash Metropolitan and the infamous Bone Shaker. The car, Cabin Fever, bears a close resemblance to Larry Wood's truck. In Hot Wheels World Race, the Ballistic has two circular taillights in the place of the exhaust pipes. A full Hot Wheels case of 72 cars will feature exactly one treasure hunt. The presence of the Circle Flame logo on a casting after 2013 does not mean that the casting is a treasure hunt. This logo only has meaning if it is within the main line, and the logo's presence in other series means nothing as these series tend to reuse older tapas on occasion. And prior to 2013, that logo meant nothing. Combining both the standard and super treasure hunts, the 57 Chevy has been used the most often, appearing 6 times. The 2015 release of the Fiat 500 has the treasure hunt symbol, and associated congratulatory message, printed on the card back in error. The paint job and the tapas on the 2015 versions are a direct nod to the Turismo, the original 1981 Hot Wheels unlicensed DeLorean. For the 2016 first edition of this casting, the Time a Taxi was decorated in the same manner as Hong Kong's urban taxis, which according to Hong Kong International Airport are color-coded depending on the area they service. The red-painted ones, like the first release, service Hong Kong's most central and urbanized areas as well as the airport. For the 2014 release of the Nissan Skyline HT 2000 GTR, Hot Wheels colored and detailed the car in the pattern used on the 2000 GTR Skyline that was debuted at the 1972 Tokyo Motor Show, but with a 68 on the side in lieu of the 73 that was used on the real show car. It is one of Ryu's personal favorite cars and one which he had been wanting to make for several years before its debut. Ryu wanted to include the extra rear window as part of the plastic window piece, but due to technical difficulties had to use a Tompo print on the body to represent it. Shadowjet 2 was named Stealth. Stripteaser was unlockable in PS1 version. Instead of the N64. Exhaust Pipe, Serpent Sprint and Volcano Blowout are exclusive to the PS1 version. There are differences in the Nintendo 64 version than in the PS1 version. In the N64 version, instead of 5SP/MXV, Way Too Fast, Power Rocket, Thunder Roller and Shadow Jet have BW, Road Rocket has 3 SP, and Speed Blaster has green PC6. Go-Kart has more details in the N64 version than in the PS1 version. Supervan has a much lighter shade of gray. Acceleracers CX-4 has additional Hot Wheels flame logos on the sides, which makes it even more similar to the race team version R.M. Sludgeworks has 2 additional breakable explosives before the spinning wall, both of which are not included in the PS1 version. Just like most Acceleracers cars, Reverb's earliest casting was a prototype made of Rosamach and Barbie plastic featuring clear windows. It was sold at Mattel's 2008 charity auction. An early version of Reverb was driven by Mark Weil during a test animation by DQ Entertainment Limited. It can be seen racing against other Reverbs featuring unused color schemes. Reverb was supposed to appear in the 2006 Acceleracers Acceleron series. However, plans were changed and only a single prototype was made. An alternate concept version of the 2006 Reverb can be seen in the 2006 German catalog. The only differences are the color swap between orange and purple, and the lack of pink rings on the wheels. It was just a promotional art and never made it to production. This version of Reverb would later reappear in Hot Wheels Infinite Loop. Reverb was playable in the 2011 online game racing circuit. Despite being customizable, it heavily resembles the card art of the 2009 Trackstars release due to its liveries. The initial '82 Nissan Skyline R30 was modeled after Jayco's wildcard DR30 Nissan Skyline RS. The 2018 released Echo was modeled after the Fouts Motorsports truck after participating in the Baja 1000 in 2016. For the 1998 first edition, the Pikes Peak Celica was released in the colors seen on the real-life 1994 race car driven by Rob Millen, complete with the authentic Pennzoil logo and number 1 on the doors. The 2018 release was modeled after Junimai's Neo Kaido 240Z and it was installed with Borla exhausts, hence the decal on the hood. When designer Dmitry Shakhmatov was a young man, he would go to his local Nissan dealership just to test drive, joyride, the 300ZX. The 2018 release was modeled after Mad Mike Whittett's Radbull Gen 2 that is driven for participating 2017 Formula Drift season, and the recolor was modeled after the first-gen Radbull for 2014 season. As of 2017, this is the only Porsche model Hot Wheels has released in right-hand drive. On the real-life car, the Porsche 935/78S gearbox was fitted upside down to reduce the angle of the drive shafts, a unique modification only seen on the 935/78. It is interesting to note that the Realm cars and semi-trailers are almost identical to their human counterparts despite being Acceleron inventions. It is possible that Highway 35 and the Racing Realms were not the only secrets left by the Accelerons. In The Speed of Silence, Karma says that the captured racing drone has mastered the skills needed to win the Storm, Swamp, Cavern and Lava realms. But in Ignition, that racing drone was captured before it encountered the Swamp, Cavern, or Lava realms. As seen in the Swamp realm though, the realms have opened before. Some of the cars from Hot Wheels, Acceleracers appeared in the 2007 video game Hot Wheels, Beat That, developed by Neversoft, published by Activision and distributed by Mattel Games and Activision Blizzard. To mark the start of the new IndyCar Series season, Hot Wheels is proud to announce the launch of the 2012 new models DW1 in honor of Dan Weldon, in stores soon. Please remember Dan and join us in proudly supporting the Dan Weldon Family Trust. On some split an image 2 in from the Terrific series, the base refers to it as Stingray 3. Despite this, the package refers to it as Split an Image 2. On the front of the Hot Wheels Octoblast set, several pictures of orange Split an Image 2s with white/purple tapas and SP wheels were shown. This Split an Image 2 does not exist, however. The Huffman Racing Chevy Stalker was for over a year, from around 1999 to 2000, the most coveted Hot Wheels car in Puerto Rico due to its superior, unbeatable performance on gravity racetracks. It commanded prices from $50 or $75 at times and provoked no few fights when one was found anywhere. What did Larry bump his and then make a Monza? Might as well and made a Gremlin too. Oh, they did. Pinto. Maybe that is why this cast was sent overseas. But the Monza 2+2 did debut in 1975 and was treated with enamel green paint, making it a bit more poppy than your Pops ride. Hi, Bob Rose is here. I worked with Larry on this one and once had a prototype in hot pink. When we did the Tompo for the Christmas ball car in '75, Aaron Cohen did the artwork for this special release. Since this Corvette Grand Sport is simply a hardtop and no front splitter version of the later Corvette Grand Sport Roadster 2015, it has the same orange track compatibility, go-through boosters, loops and turns, as its later interpretation. For the 2016 first edition release of this casting, the '73 BMW 3.0 CSL was released in the same colors as the BMW CSL that won the 1973 European Touring Car Championship, ETCC, but with a 68 on the doors and bonnet, not the 12 that appeared on the one raced in 1973. According to World's Best Driver, Drift King's top speed is 199 miles per hour. In 2011, Junimai released a model similar to the Circle Tracker, known as the Circle Trucker, which resembles the Circle Trucker livery, i.e. number, paint scheme, designer. Despite being first made in 2005, the first year this car appeared in the mainline series was 2013, Chrome Racer #9/10. The 2006 Acceleracers team colors, orange, version of Chicane appears in the video game Hot Wheels. Beat that. Chicane also appears in the video game Hot Wheels, World's Best Driver, and is part of Team Blue. It is unclear what kind of engine configuration that the Chicane has, aside from being a mid-engine setup 6.5-liter DOHC as mentioned above. The 2006 first edition's versions had rear-view mirrors. Later these were removed to facilitate assembly. The artwork found on iCollect.com shows a pre-production version with black window frames and OH5 wheels. For the cars representing Australia's K4 Great Ocean Highway, only the Ford Galaxy 500 was actually sold in Australia, though the Australian market version was in right-hand drive and the Hot Wheels casting is a US spec model in left-hand drive. The real car was only called Squareback in the USA and Canada. It was known elsewhere as the Variant. The panel version was not sold in the USA, most likely due to the checking tax. The Hot Wheels version depicts the German-made car as it is left-hand drive, rather than the version built in Australia from a complete knockdown kit. Designers will often put their names or initials on models they have worked on. Both Holden vehicles were discontinued in 2004. The police cruiser appears in the Police Force Action Pack blister even though it's the Sheriff Patrol which appears in the final set. The Track T was a playable car in Basharina PC game, and also playable in Hot Wheels Burnin' Rubber. In 2016, the Toyota 2000 GT was released in the coloring used on the real Toyota 2000 GT that was used in the 1966 EAW Speed Trial, which broke the time, speed and performance records, stunning Western car makers into taking Japanese cars very seriously. The 2015 RLC version is based on a real-life race car campaigned by Carroll Shelby for the 1968 SCCA series. In Acceleracers, it is the first car to be used with the Swamp Realm Acceleracharger. It also is one of the few, if not only car to have a screen time less than 20 minutes. The toy version of this car is in a black color scheme, whereas in Acceleracers, is seen in a blue color scheme. Designer, Ryu Asada has said that he is a big fan of Ayrton Senna and that the side window in the door was a challenge when designing the casting. El Viento means the wind in Spanish. Due to the casting having a removable top, the El Viento's appearance is customizable by swapping the removable canopy with a canopy from a different colored El Viento. For the 2013 first edition of this casting, It was released in the same colors as the display Celica put on show at the 1970 Tokyo Motor Show in a pale yellow with the period-correct JDM pinstriping on the lower half of the doors. It appears that all the cars that were licensed by other companies in the movie and the toys were all replaced by original Hot Wheels cars, such as Taro's original Plymouth, which is changed to an Overbird 454. However, there were 5 cars that were changed due to other issues. Backdraft and Road Rocket had their cockpits closed, Red Baron and Motocross were replaced due to being too open, and Wild Thing was replaced due to being a far different shape to the other cars. Quickfire is the only unique design made for this series. Fandango and Rockstar are the only cars that were used in both the 2010 Relevant Ups and original 2002 to 2004 Relevant Ups. According to the Revolution stunt sets art and pre-production pictures, Drift Tech was supposed to be in the series. In the card art and box art for Relevant Ups, all cars are shown with PR5 and OR5 SP style rims. However, all Reverend Ups released feature CM6 and OR6 SP style rims. These are seen in a pre-production image found in the gallery. Crazy 8s is a playable car in Hot Wheels, Velocity X. It is awarded upon completion of Challenge Mode. Crazy 8s was featured in the film adaptation of World Race, driven by Kadim. It is also seen in Acceleracers, but is pulled off the track in one of the realms by racing drones. The BMW M1 styling was not done by BMW's design wing. The design was contracted out to Lamborghini and the Italian automotive styling house, Ital Design. Technically, the Chevrolet Love isn't a Chevrolet at all. They were rebadged Isuzu Fasters that GM sold in the Americas before developing compact pickups of their own. If you count it, this truck is one of only 2 Isuzu vehicles that Hot Wheels has ever released, the other being the 1999 Isuzu Vehi-Cross. The Z-Wiz was a first Japanese import to be made by Hot Wheels. This along with the Acceladrome are the only places in the Acceleracers universe to be made into raceable tracks for the die-cast cars. The Swamp Beast somehow has the ability to speak English in the Swamp Beast set. However, it was never shown to talk in movies, instead making animalistic noises and grunts. Hyperpod with Pinchers is non-canon to the actual cartoon series and has never made an appearance in the show. The car is playable in Hot Wheels, All Out and Ultimate Race. It was based on a real-life hot rod Larry Wood saw as a child. It was originally called Which Way prior to production. So yeah guys, that's it for the video. Originally this video is supposed to be about 100 trivia. I didn't get enough to fill it to 100. I'm only get somewhere like 87. So maybe I will make a part 2 in the future.